Deal of the week. Andrew brings
Seth.
Deal of the week. And Seth's there too.
Paul's not here at the moment. Paul is missing.
Where's Paul?
He's dealing with what is he dealing with? He has a business.
I heard he was at the Tribe game. Was it the Cavs game? No, I think it's the Tribe game.
Yeah, wow. Dude,
Yeah.
How did you come up with that so quickly?
Where did he go?
I'm here with Andrew
Seth.
today. We had a running joke because Andrew went to a Tribe game. Then he missed a couple podcasts, so it kept on going for a long time. Where's Andrew? He's at a Tribe game. So Paul is not here today, and the mood is brighter.
I can feel like literally sunshine beaming down on us.
That's this candle that's beaming. Yeah,
that could be.
Where are we today with the deal of the week, Andrew? It's you and me, and this is going to be interesting. Let's see what we got here. All right. I have a number.
But Seth, you just got it.
Yes, that's what Paul says. All right, here we go. So, all right, where are we? Oh, okay. I like this. So we are
So we're Mayfield Heights.
Mayfield
Are
Heights.
you familiar with Mayfield?
Never been there.
All right, so it's off of 271 North in Cleveland. It's good community. I'd say a lot of the homes in Mayfield are going to be in that 1 to 200 range.
Okay,
you've got some neighborhoods of 3.
That might be the first time we've ever said that on the show. Like the homes are in the blank to blank range. That gives me like a great mindset of like where we're at. Well, because
you can picture if you're used to, let's say you're listening to us in Utah. You can probably picture a neighborhood that has homes around a certain range. So yeah, you have some spot neighborhoods that is like, oh, here's my $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 home, and you maybe have a couple streets where it's a little less. Maybe it's like that $90,000.
I'm literally on Facebook Marketplace finding like really crappy houses in bad neighborhood, $8,000 houses and $22,000 houses, and it's tough to. I mean, it's tough to.
When I'm looking at homes here, I think go the rental route. If you got a single family, 3-bedroom house or something like that in Mayfield Heights, I'd say you could easily get $1,500 in rent.
Oh, wow. Okay. So,
easily. And so even the beat down house in this city, you'd be buying it for probably $60,000 and still have to go put a bunch of money in.
How many units is this?
So we've got, let's see here. We got 12 parking. It's a brick 6-suiter.
6-unit. Okay.
Yep. And it says 5 out of 6 units been completely remodeled. You've got 3 3-bedroom suites, 2 2-bedroom suites, and 1 1-bed. That's a pretty good unit mix. Yeah. Those 3 beds are nice.
The outside is a brick facade with nice, beautiful trees out front. It's a 3-story.
Little park-like setting.
Yeah, a little cute. It's got a covered garage, I'm assuming, for some of the units, maybe not all.
Yeah, so this whole, I'll call it the east side of Cleveland. Parking's always an issue on the east side.
12 parking spots, right?
Which is nice, and the fact that you've got covered parking spots. So in this area, I look at that and say, that's money. We can, not just money isn't good, but yeah, you can rent this. Anytime you have covered parking spots on the east side, you can rent them out.
As always, the photos are complete dog shit. They've taken.
I know you're mocking them, but I'm actually looking at these and being like, "Look, these are a lot of photos. They
do provide a lot of photos. They're not hiding as much as some other places.
And
I'll tell you one photo for
compared to what we've seen. Are these not better? I know you're sitting there saying this is terrible from time. What would you do with different? Wide angle? What would you do different?
No, the angle's nice. Just the lighting is not very flattering. But either way.
I'm always interested in seeing what's wrong with them. So
this is probably their best unit, and it's pretty nice. It looks like this is probably totally remodeled, right? They still have. Do you think they changed out the kitchen? So the kitchen's nice.
I think those are brand new kitchen cabinets. It's just like the lowest end Home Depot kind of got that oaky mapley
look to it.
Yeah, Home Depot counters like that linoleum. Nothing fancy. What do you call it? Laminate. Sorry.
Yeah, laminate. Yeah. So it looks quite nice inside.
White appliances. Does anyone do white appliances anymore?
No, I don't think so.
They're on a slate. Slate's cool.
Tell me this. Do you think they did this did they do this to every unit, or is this just one?
I think this one's modeled up a little bit because it's got minimal furniture. It's so clean. I think they modeled one up and probably tried to rent it this way for picture purposes. It says that 5 out of 6 have been completely remodeled.
So
I'm going to go on the fact that I expect as a buyer, all 5 should look like this.
So the 3 bedrooms are between $800 and $850. it seems like the 2 bedrooms are about $640, and the 1 bedroom is $575.
Yes.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Not a guess. I have the numbers. They don't tell us which rooms are which. So what are you thinking? Okay.
So I'll tell you, yeah, my first thought when I'm looking at this, I just told you what I thought a 3-bedroom house would rent for in the area.
Yeah.
What number did I say?
Twice as much as almost
$1,500, right?
Yeah.
How do you have a 3-bed? I get there's a difference between apartment living and a home living. You have a backyard and a driveway and it's all yours and yeah, you're going to pay more for it, right? But it's double the right number. I think it's too much of a spread. I don't see why you couldn't do a couple things in here, doll up the light fixtures, throw some granite on, put in stainless, and you can get $1,000.
What do you think you have to put in each one of these units?
You know, the tough thing, one, I don't know what that last unit looks like. I would get rid of the linoleum. It looks like terrible linoleum on the floors. Honestly, you could probably get away. That's the thing. I wouldn't change cabinets out. They're too new.
Mm-hmm.
I would take the counters. I think if you pay, and I put backsplash in.
Mm-hmm.
If you paid over $1,000, I think you expect backsplash, you expect granite counters, better appliances. I would take these white appliances out and go put them in another rental.
Even if they're brand new? Oh, put them in another rental.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of recycle, repurpose. And I know if someone's saying, I just started off, I don't have any. I know it's a little tougher. Maybe get someone to buy them. And I'm not saying take a total loss on the appliances, but maybe sell them on Craigslist and see if it goes.
It looks like their expenses is
garbage.
Not correct. Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about those?
So what is an American tenant screen?
Background checks.
$46 a year.
So that is 2 background checks.
Okay.
That's it. Now it's a 6-unit building. My comment is 6-unit building. That means their average tenant's staying 3 years. You're cycling 2 out a year.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is long for apartment living, is accurate if you're not pushing rents. If you're pushing rents hard, they're probably leaving in 18 to 24 months. If you got them super low, they're staying longer.
Water is $1,600 a year.
I'll believe it because they wrote it. That's it.
Okay. And then there's some other fees. What is this? Taxes?
City of Mayfield Heights that's occupancy permit or something like that.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I guess my point that I'm getting to.
Go ahead.
They literally wrote $120 for an occupancy permit, right?
Yeah.
And then they've got numbers in here for county taxes. They've got the gas bill, the light bill. They've got fire equipment on there, which is probably extinguishers in the hallways and stuff like that, or smoke detectors that they're doing checks on, or sprinklers. Do you see anything in here for maintenance?
The maintenance. Right.
Who fixes a unit? Where's the money for that?
Not here.
And this says yearly expenses, January to December.
Yeah, you're right. So
any advertising?
Ah.
Any grass cutting?
Oh, they don't have that?
Snow plowing?
Oh, come on.
Leasing?
Uh-oh.
Do you see what I'm saying?
We're missing thousands of dollars.
Yeah, there's nothing here. It blows me. Why are you listing $120
Oh, I see.
when you're not listing some of the major expenses?
What is this $6,900 bill right here?
Taxes?
Taxes. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and based on what I know the price to be, or at least what they're asking, I can sit there and be like, yeah, those taxes they're low. Those taxes are for right now, not based on what it would sell for. So taxes are going up.
Okay. So let's call it $1,600 plus $60 plus $120 plus
Let's do
$690. Go ahead, Andrew.
Paul and I, when we're on here, we always throw out, average expenses per unit. Where are you seeing those?
$4,000 a year.
That'd be
high?
on the
That's
low.
high?
That'd be on the low side.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You are gonna again. We're looking at a 6-unit, so we're doing this for someone who probably self-manage, right?
Yeah.
I still think by the time you revalue tax, you're probably going to be in that 4,500 range. So you weren't far off. You're right there.
$4,500 for maintenance
4,500 for all the unit expenses combined
for per unit.
per unit, right?
Oh, wow, $4,500.
And by the way, that number 4,500 we did one not too long ago. It was 36 units where we talked about 5,250 and 55. Yeah, as you start getting closer to 100, I mean, you have to staff full-time people.
Yeah.
So you need to pay someone $50,000 to come in and do all the maintenance. And that's, maybe it's 40 with all this benefits and all that stuff added on. Same thing with a leasing person. So now you're carrying 100,000 in overhead for 100 units. So that's $1,000 a unit. That'd be an extra 6,000 right here. So that $1,000 unit difference, that takes you from 45 up to 55.
Mm-hmm.
You get efficiencies, but you have more costs. In this case, you're essentially, I don't want to say donating your time, but that's it. You don't have a management fee in here for one. So there's a lot of expenses just completely lost.
Which is also losing me. I'm trying to keep up with this because they give us a yearly expenses of like $11,700, but we're not including all the stuff we talked about, yard maintenance.
Okay, so $11,600, right? Round it up to 12. You got 6 units. That's $2,000 a door, right?
And you're saying it's $45 a door,
right? Take all those things that we just talked about, and to lump some numbers. If I threw $500 a unit on for maintenance, if I threw another $100 for cleaning, if I threw usually what I do, it depends on the area. I know in the Cleveland, Ohio area, I can throw money on for snowplow. I also know that we have a fall and a spring cleanup, and we have average about 28 grass cuts a year. So I can multiply what I think a grass cutting would be, $50 or something like that, to have someone come out and do it, a professional company.
Yeah. What do you think rents could go to?
Man, how do you not get 3 beds at $1,000? I don't know. You'd have to.
They're currently at eight.
These are actually good size units. Like, you're looking at the picture. I know you said the picture are terrible. They're good units. I think you easily get to 1,000. That's on the 3 beds. Back it down 100 and 100.
How much are you going to spend per unit to fix it up?
So I'm looking at the outside. The one thing I can't see is the roof. I say that because flat roofs are a pain in the butt, and if I got to do that. So I don't know common areas. I don't see anything about the inside of the hallways. Electric, water tank. So I don't know any of those, I'll call it question mark items. Yeah. Those exist. But for the rest of it, I'd like to do new flooring. So let's say you're spending $3 a square foot on flooring. That's probably high. $250 a square foot on flooring. And I don't know what they're like. I'd probably repaint it because this looks white everywhere, like cream just everywhere.
Yeah.
And then go, I mean, it could be as low as $5,000 a door.
Really?
Yeah. Because there's not much. Again, cabinets are done. I mean, it could be as high as, and I don't know the condition of all the units. It could be as high as $12,000 if I had to start doing some of those more expensive items.
So how do we get to what you think you want to pay per door?
So let's sit there and use an average. So if you sat there right now, let's say the whole thing, if you're going to average, let's say 9, because it's heavier on the 3 beds. So let's say you're going to average $935 in rent times 6 units times 12 months. Take out some money for vacancy.
Yeah, 10%.
Yeah, let's do 10.
Okay.
I was going to say 8, but let's put some collection loss in there because you're going to have evictions and that stuff happens. So it's $60,500. If I take out $4,500 a door in expenses, I'm left with $33,500. Add a 7.5 cap because it's a little bit smaller, and the community is still nice. You could even argue to do an 8 cap. I got $447,000, but I use the bigger rents, right?
Yes.
I still need to make money, so I can't pay exactly what it's worth. If I'm going to do all the work, I need to make a little bit of money. So then you back out, how much do you think for all the work? If I'm saying it's, let's say I say, again, I don't know, $8,500 a door and work, 6 units. I do think that's low. That's $51,000. And I'm going to have some carry because my units have to go vacant for a couple months while I do the work. Pump it up, put some money in. So if I called it $85,000 in work I have to do, and then I put a cream on it of 25%, $106,000 off of that 447. What are you thinking, Seth?
Well,
walk me through.
I'm not experienced with the steps I need to take to get to what a number that. Frankly, I can't remember the steps of, like, we take the rent, what the rent could be, we take the taxes. You're including that in the expenses. So
I should have said, I got a number. Seth, I got a number.
Yeah, when you first saw this, what number did you want? What number did you think?
So knowing where I can get the rents to, going upwards of $1,000,
Yeah.
I'm looking at a per unit thing. And it's just off the top of my head, I know units that I own and what their rents are, what I think they're probably worth.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we have one in Columbus where my rents are high 800s. I know that building is all day worth $75,000 a door.
Wow.
Right. Great property. Super clean.
Okay.
You don't need to do anything, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be getting in the 900s, am I going to be worth that same amount? Well, I know the taxes are higher, so my expenses are higher per unit. So I got to factor some of those things in. So yeah, when I'm done, do I think this could be worth $75,000 a door? Yeah, all day.
Sounds high. I don't know why.
High rents, though. I mean, some of
rents.
these ones when we're talking about in Akron, because remember, insurance isn't on the list either. There's none of that.
Insurance.
You might need to insure your building.
Ah, that'd be wise.
Insurance, let's say it's $300 per apartment.
Per year?
It's going to be per year.
Okay.
It's going to be an expense whether you're in Akron making $450 in rent or in Mayfield making it $950 in rent. The cost to build that 950 square feet doesn't change really between Akron and Mayfield. So when we're talking about some of these others and the expenses are just consuming it, we're saying, I wouldn't give more than $25,000 a door. And this one, you're like, man, 75 seems like a ton. Yeah, because the rents are more. So the extra 100 you're getting on top of your expenses is exponentially more valuable.
So what number did you come up with?
I didn't know if you were going to stab.
Is
this what we do? We kind of play around, and I'm the one who sits here and
I know.
This
This one's confusing me too much because like when we add on the extra fees, I can't comprehend it as fast as you guys do. Like, obviously it's 75 a door times 6. That's what you're saying, right?
end value. I think it could be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
That's 450, obviously. So 450.
And I feel confident in that number.
You'd want to pay that right now?
That's what I know 1,000% I can sell it for down the road. And really, when I did it the first time, I got a little bit high. I think it was 475. Because my rent's a little bit higher than where I was and when I went through the expenses. But
so knowing the market,
I know I can sell for 475 down the road.
So knowing the market, they're asking 625 for this.
Well, remember, that 475, I have to put how much into it.
Oh, yeah, you have
to make it worth that. So I can't pay 475. At least, yeah.
Oh, so they're at,
I got to buffer at least 100.
So what are they asking? Is it on here?
I just looked at the first one. I'm like, oh, I whited it out. That's not going to help me.
Oh, wow. You don't have the
400.
Go on.
46,000.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute.
So 446. You go, is that good? You said it could be worth 475.
Well, so no, yeah.
But I got to still put the money in it.
Oh, I see.
So if I bought for whatever and then put 100, I'm in for 550. And I told you it's worth what? 475. I'm 75 in the hole. So I got to buy it at least 100 less than the ask price.
I see. So we're way off.
We're way off. But again, we're in the 50,000s per door on it, which I think is a good price for a 6-unit building. But yeah, we're a bit off percentage wise. Because I mean, some people could be like, oh, so they're at 440 some, and you're in 350. That's not that far off.
Yeah.
100 on 4 is not the best.
I really like this building too.
The brick, or what do you like about it?
I just like all of it. It looks kind of cool. That's
Man, I think you really like the 6-suiters. Like when it's 6 and lower, like 6, 4, 3, 2.
It's good numbers, yeah.
You like that
because you wouldn't have to have outside manager. You could probably get it done yourself.
Because you could do it.
It's not too. I wouldn't imagine it's that overwhelming. You get up to 12. I was like, that's a lot to take on.
Because you feel like you're going to be painting all 12 every weekend.
Also, if I got into anything, I don't have any money for like those larger. Probably don't have the money for this, right? What do you need to? Like,
if we got it for what we want.
Talk not so much we. Talk about someone like me. Is this
right,
someone
so
that a normal person?
No, but normal person. Let's say I'm telling you, 350,000. Go buy it for that. If you could get it for 350, right? When we throw out buying these, a lot of times we use 20%, 25% down, and 80 to 75% is the mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a commercial mortgage, especially if it's a larger property.
Sorry, I'm yawning.
So
what does that mean?
On a six unit, because you're buying it and you don't have experience and everything,
Yeah.
they're not giving you a commercial non-recourse where they're not coming after you. They just want the property. If you default, they're going to leave you alone.
Mm.
Going to a bank, they're going to look at you for only you. When I was talking to a bank about this, they say the first thing we look at on this, giving a loan for this property, is the borrower. The second thing's the borrower, and the third's the borrower.
Really?
Yeah, they're like fourth, fifth is the property and the rent roll.
That's weird.
Yeah, because they're looking and saying, look, we're going to give you this money, not because the property is actually worth $450. That's how much they don't care about the appraisal. They want to know that if they give you whatever amount of money,
they're gonna get it back.
You are going to pay it back. So it's full recourse. They want you to pay it back, everything. Now, you can probably go in putting 10% down because it's going to be in your personal name.
Yeah.
If you start putting in a business name and all that stuff, then you go back to having to put 20% down. But again, they want to make sure that Seth can pay this back.
So you'd have to put like $90,000 down.
If you were buying at $450, $70,000 if you were buying at that $350 we talked about, but yes.
And then how do you get the money for
like doing work?
Yeah, the work.
So two ways. You could do a construction loan or pay cash.
Yeah.
And I say pay cash, not like your money's sitting there for forever. What a lot of people do, especially if there's a lot of room between what it needs and where it can be, you put the money in. If it's cash, and some people, I'm not saying it's the best thing, but they borrow money from family or credit cards or a hard money loan from someone because they're planning on doing things quick. Get your 6 units done as fast as you can, lease them up at the big number, dump it right back to a bank and get a new loan. Because if you bought it for $350, when you're done, if this thing's worth $500 to a bank, and they say, well, you need to make sure that you have 20% down, that means they'll give you a loan of $400 on your $500 value, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you bought it for $350 and put in $100, you're only in it for $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got $400 back.
Yeah.
So now you're in it for a lot less. You're in it for 10% because you took so much money back from them.
You're talking about a refinance, you mean?
Yeah. But you have to do that. Again, the goal is to do it quicker so you don't string it out, especially if you're using cash or something like that. And you could do a construction loan if you were trying to tide the wave a little bit. But again, it's just going to go back to your personal. Can you afford to pay it back if everything hits the fan?
You have to have a lot of money. I mean, even for property of this size, like how much money do you have to have laying around to do this? I mean, couple hundred $1,000, right?
That's fair to say.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Who's got that laying around?
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, I really think you'd be surprised. Look, I know it sounds crazy, but no, there's a lot of people that don't save and anything like that. But honestly, those people aren't probably the ones even watching the show or care to learn or how to do this and save and are interested in real estate. But yeah, you get people. A lot of people start saving some money, and the problem is they get involved in investments because they don't know what else to do, so they just throw it to someone who does investments. And say, oh, you do investments.
Right.
Here's all my money because I don't know what I'm doing.
I see.
So people end up stacking money away. I think it's, you stack away from Magic cards.
I do.
How many do you have now?
It's not a count. No, it's not a count thing. It's not like
so you don't count the cards. You count the value.
Absolutely not. No, because you have a pile of dog shit ones that you could just literally burn on fire and you get more.
Didn't you tell me one time that's how you make the good money in Magic is you buy the dog shit ones for 2 cents because they'll be worth 5 cents later on?
We shouldn't start into Magic game. We're talking too much about it. But the internet has like most things, the internet communication has broken down any deals. There's no deals to be sought and there's no deals to be had anymore when everyone has a phone. They can say, oh, wait, what is this? What is this worth?
You're not playing the market?
No, it's a very concrete thing.
What's the arbitrage in Magic cards?
Arbitrage? What's that mean?
That means that you know someone who's willing to pay $1 for this and someone who's willing to pay 70 cents for this. So you play arbitrage where you're buying this guy's stuff.
You can't. It's not even like that anymore.
It's not even there.
Yeah, it's not. The internet is just the communication of the internet has not let anything become a deal. It's just all very factual.
So I did have I think we were talking about Magic cards. What, a couple of deal of weeks ago?
Sure.
So I had someone come up to me and they're like, "Hey, tell your Magic card friend to stop putting money in, and I'm willing to sell him some bingo cards."
Bingo?
Yeah, he goes, "You can make way more money playing bingo than you can doing Magic."
I'm losing you. What is he talking about?
He sells bingo cards. He just wants you to buy a bunch of bingo cards.
Oh, because I'm in the
Jimmy,
cards.
that one's for you.
What are you talking about? Sells bingo cards?
He runs bingo halls.
I don't even know what you mean. What is that?
You went to Walsh. What'd they do on like Tuesday nights at Walsh?
Yeah, they had old
Like
people come in and smoke and play bingo. Is this like a?
That's it.
I thought it was just like a community thing.
No,
like,
they got daubers, they got sheets, and someone needs to buy all that. So that dauber, I'm sure it costs him what, a dime? I don't know. He probably knows better than I do.
It's like a big business.
Sell for $3.
Bingo.
Have you heard of the Queen of Hearts?
Yeah, what is that? I have no idea.
All this stuff's tied together. There's other things like
all I see on the news is the Queen of Hearts is up to $2 million at some random hole in the wall bar, and I'm like, what is this?
Pull tabs. Have you heard of those?
No.
So same thing like bingo cards. There's essentially those scratch whatevers.
Like a lotto ticket?
Yeah, lotto tickets, but that's for the lottery. So if you do these pull tabs, like you just pull it up and it says if you're a winner or not. But these people buy like $100 worth of them and just have piles of them sitting next to them. You can get them in bars. You can get all that kind of, it's like legal forms of gambling or a way that it skirts the rules. So
yeah,
Queen of Hearts, you have this whole board. You got, I think jokers are up there. I'm not an expert on this, but let's say 52 or 54 cards.
And they're on a wall or something.
They're on a wall. They're all sealed up. You cannot touch them, like laminated.
To the board.
To the board.
Okay.
Yeah. And so everyone comes in and you buy tickets and it goes in a drum and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Then they draw.
So on your ticket,
yes,
you write your name and you write 1 through 54.
Okay.
And they have to draw your name that week. They pull out a name. And let's say they pull Seth.
That's my name.
Bingo, right? But look, maybe you might have bought 20 tickets. You might have bought 20 tickets, and on each one, you wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, just to mix them up.
Oh,
right?
I see.
Or maybe you're like, you know what? 11's my birthday. I'm going to stick to what is your birthday?
The 17th of February.
So you would have done 17, right? Or 2, maybe. I don't know. But so you have your favorite number, and maybe you just wrote that on all 20 tickets. So she pulls Seth, 17. So they walk over, cut out 17. That has to be the Queen of Hearts for you to win.
Okay.
And then you get whatever it is, 85% of the pot or however it works. So and when the odds are, first off, you're 1 in 54, right?
Yes.
So you're not going to hit. And then you keep going. And then everyone comes back next week. So that $2,000 in tickets that they just sold to try to win the pot just accumulates. And then next week people come and because there's an unlimited amount of tickets that you can sell.
Yeah.
You can literally go buy 1,000 tickets because then that's what happens at the end is if there's only 2 cards left, now the only randomness isn't one, am I going to get picked from this quantity of tickets multiplied by how many are on the wall?
Oh, yeah, you're just doing 1 or 2, right?
That's it. Now it's
50-50
You got to get picked out of the drum and multiplied by 50-50, not by 0.018 or whatever. Right?
I see.
So the odds, if you get pulled, you got a 50% chance you're going to win that entire pot. And so you put tons of money in to be pulled. You might put $500 in because you want to try more tickets than anyone else.
Wow.
And you just sit there and you write Seth, number 1717 all over the place. You put them in and you're like, please pick me. And this thing gets up to millions.
Yeah, I see $2 million.
Because people look at this and go, I'd rather sit there. If it's $2 million, what are your odds compared to the lottery?
Oh, God. I mean,
they got to be better.
Yeah, way better, right?
Because
it's depending on how many people get in on this thing.
Well, that's the thing. The only people that can get in are the people that drive to the damn bar and write their name on all the damn tickets.
I see the tumbler that it's
big.
It's like it looks like a huge barbecue.
At that point, it's big. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, so you're sitting there and for the lottery, they're selling them all over Ohio and how many people are buying them. And even, the odds of hitting the super lotto are what, 1 in 198 million or whatever the number is, right? Well, in this one, there's not going to be 198 million tickets in there.
Yeah.
what's it? Let's say there's 1 million tickets, which would be a ton.
It's not even that many, right? It's a couple,
I don't think so.
Looks like maybe a couple thousand, maybe.
Right. So if there's 1 million tickets in there, you're 1 in 1 million to get picked versus to win $1 million.
Yeah.
Versus
1 in 2,000.
Whatever. I mean, like I said, you go buy a lotto ticket, you're 1 in 198 million to win.
Are they only doing this in Cleveland? I don't see this in Columbus. I don't see this on the news.
I think it's statewide.
It's weird.
But I know they're doing it well because I know the company that, again, the bingo, this is one of the products that they do. So they have all these different things.
That's
which
how we
are
got into this.
On the edge of, see, I'm full circling this.
There's something sad when I go to the gas station. I like to get a very small sugar-free Red Bull if I don't get my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
There's something very sad seeing someone who obviously looks like they're working a physically demanding job.
Yeah.
And their boots are dirty, and then they just take a $20 bill and slap it down for a lotto ticket, and like they scratch it right then and there and throw it in the trash and walk out.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, I can't. You don't do that, do you?
No. The only thing I'll do is Mega Million.
You will.
I'll do the Mega and the whatever the other one is, Powerball.
Yeah. How many tickets you buy? One or?
I'll usually buy $10 worth.
Really?
But only once it gets over like 400 million.
Yeah.
Because, and someone, it goes two ways. Someone's like, really? You wouldn't buy it at 100 million? You're not going to be happy with 100 million? I have a flawed theory on the odds. Again, if the odds of me winning are 1 in 200 million, and it's a $2 ticket, so I want my payout to be 400 million.
Yeah.
Yes, that doesn't include taxes and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter. Mentally, the other side is it's $10. When it gets 400 million, I always say, like, how much a movie theater ticket cost?
Yeah, like 12, 13, 15.
Yes. And you go there, how long does the movie last?
2 hours.
And for 2 hours, you enjoy it, and you had fun, you smile, maybe with family, and you love it. For this, I spent $10 on Super Lotto, or whatever it's called, and for a day and a half, I get to sit there in my head and be like, man, if I had fucking $400 million, but it's the idea of entertaining.
Yeah.
Like for just a little bit of time, or maybe BSing with someone at lunch, or if you're doing it with a pool, I think like Chris, Mikey, Paul, and I maybe all throw in $5 or something like that. And then we sit there and we're like, man, if we all had 100 million, what would you just get that little bit of entertainment out of it.
I think that is the universal. You can freeze an entire room and get people all on the same page. You're like, dude, what would you do with all that money? And people love talking about it, right?
So it's a great conversation, but at the same point, it's very polarizing.
Well, I brought up on a podcast, I asked Paul, I said, Paul, I'm surrounded by a bunch of normal people that have that conversation all the time.
Yeah.
And what is it like to not, don't you think Paul's wealth is like to the point where he doesn't even have to think, like, if it's just like he kind of pretty much has a great amount of money. He could do damn near anything he wanted, right?
He could do a lot.
He could not come to work and hire a masseuse to come to his home every single day for years, right?
Yeah, but would you want that?
I don't know. But that's,
I know someone's like, yes, a fucking
it goes into
that.
It goes into the idea of if you had all the money, what would you do?
Right.
So he said all he really wants in this world is a private jet.
That is a big thing. Yeah, I know. That's like a
huge.
The apple in the sky for
it
him.
Is.
He wants that.
Pie in the sky. Apple.
Can the apple be in the sky?
I don't know why. It doesn't really rhyme as well.
Maybe it's an apple pie in the sky. That's what I was missing. Okay.
No, that's not it either.
Pie in the sky.
Yeah, pie
okay,
in the sky.
we'll go with that.
But no, I was like, he could do whatever, like, I see the Tesla Roadster at $200,000, and I'm just like, whoa, oh my God, never in a million years did that ever happen. And like, I'm pretty sure Paul could go lease that pretty easily. So it's like,
I guess that brings up another thing. Do people lease $200,000 cars?
Well, Paul leases stuff, right? I mean,
yeah, I don't know if he leases $200,000 cars.
I don't know, but it's just weird. Like, it's a weird state where you don't actually that pie in the sky discussion wouldn't actually apply to you. You could just do it.
You know what? But there's other things. Like it's still just because you have X dollars, it doesn't. And I guess that's some things. Someone may say, dude, if I won $1 million, I'm never working again. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to get my camper. I'm going to go in the woods.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do nothing because I can.
Yeah.
And they did it with 100,000.
Who's they? What do you mean?
Someone.
Oh, yeah.
Someone who wants to go in a camper in the woods.
Sure.
But so go the other way. Someone could win 10 million and then be like, that's my number. That's it. I could tell you, Seth, if you got $1 million, would you quit working?
I
thought you'd answer way quicker than that.
Just a
How are you
million?
gonna, yes.
No, that's probably not going to
Yeah,
get me that far.
is it just $1 million?
It's not going to get me that far.
It actually won't. With the fact you have 2 young kids, younger,
Yeah.
they got to go to school. You're young.
I got a new mortgage on a house, got a car I can't afford.
So you add up debts, and kids got to go somewhere. And the fact,
that'd be
you
gone
still got to
instantly.
live.
Yeah. So no, you're right.
Right.
I thought you said 10 millions. I had to.
Okay.
I had to.
So you were thinking on the 10, but
yeah, I had to replay my mind.
no. I look, even if I won $400 million, am I coming? That's what everyone says. You're going to work the next day? Yes.
Bullshit.
Well, I may have to go see my lawyer, but I'm coming to work. I would come in and write a check for $1 more than Paul. Would be like, now I'm bigger. Welcome.
Wow.
No, but that's the thing. I like what we do here.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it. It's not just, if you make a number up, 10 million, 20 million, whatever the number is, I'm not just, you're sitting there and saying, okay, I can start these businesses and I can grow things and I can do other things and I can work with people and friends even. And I'm not just saying, oh, here's a handout. I mean, you're growing businesses and doing all this stuff. And that's fun. And I think you can learn a lot from it. And 50 million doesn't have to become $1 billion or 500 million or whatever, but why can't it? And there's still challenges and growth to all that. Just like it's a different challenge from someone sitting there having 50,000 trying to get to 500 to retire.
Yeah.
It's just a different challenge.
That's interesting.
I don't know. We're off topic now.
You have goals, right? What you want to make in this world?
Yes.
You chasing them actively?
Yes.
I think I surround myself with you guys, and so my goals get loftier, but
Is that a bad thing?
No, well, it's bad when I realize that, like,
I think it's a good thing.
we've been friends for a couple years, and nothing in my life has really changed that much besides mindset, which is a great start, but
That's not a bad thing.
I guess there's patience that you have to have, but when things aren't really actively changing.
Okay, so I'll use myself as an example. I can sit there and so we've got a bunch of businesses that we do, and I'm part of everything that Paul and Mikey and Chris, like we all have this stuff together. And we're in a period of, right now, as we're starting businesses, when you start a business, do you make a lot of money?
I'm doing it right now. It's terrible.
Right.
No.
You're investing all this money. You're not making
In
anything,
time,
right?
yeah.
And we've got a whole bunch of those we're doing right now. And then you get into one that maybe you sit there and it does well in that first year where it's paying all its bills and you're like, oh, shit, this got a lot of growth in here. So now you dump even more money in.
Yeah.
And you get a lot more growth, but at the same point, you're still not making money, even though you're putting maybe all the money that company was making and grabbing money from somewhere else to go put it in.
Yeah.
And now you're still not making money. But you keep doing that, now you have all these businesses that are increasing in value and growing. And we're looking at deals all the time. This sucks. This deal sucked. I can't buy it. It's not going to go anywhere. But there's going to be a time when we do deal of the week, and I won't have time to do deal of the week because we'll be buying so many deals. Every time we look at something, we're like, go buy it, do an offer, do an offer. We were doing these homes, and we were doing 2 offers, 3 offers a week. We're buying 1 every single week, if not 2, for an entire year. It was drinking from a fire hydrant. You could not keep up. And when that happened, I'd say from a net worth standpoint, we made a lot of movement because there was ability to go get equity and build things and do everything. And then, you hit these times and you can't make as much in this period. So you go through other strategies of growth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I know you're saying like in a year, what happened in a year? Maybe nothing substantial in terms of what the bank cares about. But like you said, you've got your output where you're looking for things. You've got your mentality, and you've made groundwork with new business, right?
Yeah, groundwork, sure.
You got to start somewhere. You could not start, and then where would you be?
Yeah. Yeah. I tell Paul that's one challenging thing to being around him is like, I don't think I'll ever get to something of that level. And if I do, it better be pretty damn, I don't see how it's going to happen soon.
But that's the other thing. Do you need to get to X level?
I don't know. I guess.
You don't think there's any happiness short of that level? There's always happiness above a level. And that's the thing. That's why you just I'm using the word X's and Y's and stuff because everyone's is different.
Yeah.
maybe you don't need a private jet.
No.
So your number's already lower.
Yeah, for sure.
How many homes do you need?
One would be fine. In fact,
See, your number's lower again.
I actually already think we're in a dream home. I actually go to Paul's home and I'm like, I wouldn't want this. Really, I wouldn't. It's just like, so.
But see, that's another thing that some people can't comprehend. So I'll go back. You get $400 million, you're not going to go spend X, whatever on a home. You're going to stay exactly where you're at.
I don't know. I guess maybe. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I would stay.
Maybe you stay exactly where you're at, but maybe you take your family on more vacations or something.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, travel. Go do things that maybe were a little further, more expensive that
Absolutely.
you wouldn't have done.
I looked up flights to New Zealand. It was Beth and I, round trip, $32,000.
Yeah, did you look how tired your ass is going to be in that airplane seat?
Well, they have the recliner seats. That's why it's so much.
You'd have to.
Yeah, it's like you're laying in a bed.
Can you imagine sitting in coach? You'd be getting up to go to the bathroom. You don't even have to pee. You're just like, I need to stretch.
Stand up. The flight's like 19, 20 hours, something ridiculous. But anyway, well, it's interesting, man. Yeah, no, I get a little depressed because I see I see you guys moving and shaking, and I'm like, it's been 2 years, and maybe I'm crazy. I actually have saved up a good amount of money, so if the market got better, I could invest in some of this stuff and get going.
No doubt.
So I really just need the market to fall.
But that's the other thing. You can't look at where someone else is and get crippled. Paul isn't looking where Warren Buffett is and crippling himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I'll never get there. I'm not even going to fucking try.
Well, that's what a lot of people probably think. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the idea. And Paul will be way happy short of wherever Warren Buffett is.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not saying he's not even happy right now. The point is, and I use Paul, it could be anyone. Myself, yourself, whoever. And again, that's just a monetary thing. Yeah, monetary things can allow certain luxuries of life.
Absolutely. If I had all that money and my kids were terrible and they hated me, I mean, that's no help
suck.
either. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Oh, man.
I know. It's all the fun stuff. But that's the other thing. We're also sitting here. I probably get more stressed because who was I talking to the other day? And I said, my son's only 3.5 years from going to Walsh. And it blew his mind.
You got the money for that?
God, it sucks. But yeah, I mean, we've been saving.
I'm thinking about, I don't even know. I mean, I don't think, unless we go into some sort of I don't think I have enough money for it. I mean, it seems like a pretty luxury. We're also in a really nice school district, so we're actually seeing.
Drop that Tesla, bro.
I know. Well, again, I bought the Tesla when I had.
That's why I'm kicking a Kia out there.
A very successful. You drive Kia?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
A Cadenza. It's very luxurious.
I bought the Tesla when I had made a lot more money than right now. And so I'm trying to justify it still. It's tough. I do drive all over the place.
But you love it.
I do. The kids love it. I mean, do I love the amount of money I spend on it? I guess. I mean, I actually was shocked. I still owe $40,000 on the car. I've had it for a year. I don't know.
You've had that car for longer.
No, actually, so here I go.
I feel like I've known you for 9 years.
See how time
flies.
flies. No, I got it last July.
Okay.
So I guess it's been well over a year now. But regardless, it's an incredible machine, and it's like really. So that's the funny part.
I looked at
about
getting a Tesla.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll give you a code. You don't have a referral code. We get like free stuff. Both of us.
Oh, look at him jumping on that code.
What I would say is, some people. So obviously no one would like a car payment that's too large, but it also grounds me a bit. And like, you know what? I don't know if it's weird to say, I've done it. I'm in a gorgeous home. I have a car that's like, oh my God. And I'm also saving for a massive amount per month for retirement and my kids' future in school. And so it gives me a sense of contentment that like, oh, I'm great. I don't have to have that one house I always wanted. I'm in it. It's great.
And again, I haven't sat in here on all the things you've done with Paul. I know I've listened to every single podcast for every minute.
Of course.
But do you know what percentage that puts you in? Just doing those things? I'm sure you know it. It just doesn't make you feel better.
It does at times. Yeah, it does.
Seth, you're way in the 90s.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
We've had Mo on the podcast a couple times who does investments, and he's like, yeah, you're in a really, really great spot. And I was like, oh, doesn't feel like it, but okay.
Well, that's the thing. And how many times have you met Mo?
I just, half a dozen times.
Right. Guy who just walks around the office.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
All right, thanks for joining us, guys.
Deal of the week.
Yeah, this was a
This got long.
45-minute podcast. When we don't have Paul just whining and crying like a baby and
I got my number. And then singing songs from beaches.
check out the last deal of the week, guys. Thanks for joining us. For Andrew, this is Seth. Love you guys.
Adios.